We're going to walk you through the installation of the JLT oil separator for your Toyota Tundra. Included in the JLT kit is the oil separator and mounting bracket, mounting screws, 2 PCV hoses, dress-up ends, and a hose clamp. Tools you'll need for installation is a 10mm wrench, Phillips head screwdriver, standard screwdriver, long pair of needle nose pliers, grease, and Q-tips for application inside the hose. Let's get started. Okay, we're going to need to remove this engine cover. I'm just going to pull up, set that to the side. Next, we're going to need to locate our PCV line, which is this line here coming from the bottom of the intake manifold. Squeeze this spring clamp and slide it back. And pull on the hose. And then to release the bottom portion, there's another spring clamp, but you can also just pull up on the hose and it should come right out. Again, these things just squeeze to remove. Don't lose them because we will be reusing them. Now this foam we're going to have to pull out of here, and this goes completely under to the left side of the manifold, left and right side, so we're actually going to have to rip it. But it will be required just to be able to get to our fittings down here. So I'm just going to grab it as low as I can and pull up. And that's going to show us our PCV in green and our PCV connection at the manifold in white. We're going to mount our bracket to this bolt here holding the radiator fan. So we're going to pull that out. It's 10mm. Take our JLT bracket and reinstall the bolt. Alright, grab your separator, install it onto the bracket with the supplied screws. And tighten those up. We're going to go and prep our hoses for installation. So those 2 clamps I removed from the stock PCV line. One is noticeably smaller. We're going to go and slide that onto our 3/8 line and just secure that. And next we're going to actually take some of our grease, because we got to get this hose to slide over that PCV valve. This hose is pretty stiff, so we're going to put a little grease on our Q-tip. And you can't really put too much here as long as you don't block it. It's just going to help. So that'll help in us sliding that on. Okay, we're going to install our smaller line to the PCV first. Now that our hose is all greased up, we're going to get that started on the PCV valve. It's going to fit very stiff, but we want to push that all the way down to the valve. What you can do is take your pliers and grab the hose to help you push and wiggle that down. And once that's fully seated, we're going to take our clamp and work that down past the barb on the PCV. Just take your time. It could be very tedious because you can't get your hands in there. There we go. Next, we're going to grab our other hose to go to our intake manifold. Go ahead and slide your clamp on. Get that fully seated. All right, gonna go ahead and tighten our clamp up. You can use it with that standard screwdriver, or a 1/4 inch nut driver makes the job real easy. 1/4 inch socket, so you're not fighting to stay inside that slot. So to snug it up, doesn't need to be crazy tight. Now we're gonna install our hoses onto our can. We're gonna do the one from the PCV valve first, which is gonna go to the J side of the can, the fitting that is angled downward. We're going to use that same grease from earlier inside the hose for some lubrication. Put your dress-up cap on your hose. And then push that onto your can. And then we're going to do the same with our hose to our intake manifold. Lube that up. Put the dress-up end on. Lastly, we need to reinstall our engine cover. Back of the cover, it's got one of these cutouts on each side, and that's to catch this bar. So I'll align that, pivot the cover down, and it snaps right into its grommet. All done.